episode 217, the headlines in NBA. Well, of course, the first thing we're going to talk about in the NBA is the NBA Finals, where the Oklahoma City Thunder, who haven't played in what seems like weeks, are going to be taken off against the Indiana Pacers, who seems like they just finished their series against the New York Knicks on Saturday night. It was a great series, Knicks-Pacers. Pacers, the reason why they won the series was because they got off to that great 2-0 start. Without that start, they don't win this series because you don't go back to New York in Game 7 and win that game, in my opinion. But they did end up winning those first two in New York, really getting a big boost in that series, ended up coming out on top in that series, kind of like how the Knicks did with the Celtics, won 2 in Boston, ended up splitting at home, then going back to Boston, losing, and then winning the final Game 6. Same situation here with Indiana, exact same game layout, worked out perfectly for them. They're in the NBA Finals. You've got Tyrese Haliburton versus Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, just like everybody scripted at the start of these guys' careers for them to be going off in the NBA Finals. I love this story. 2 under-the-radar guys coming out of high school, 2 guys who were late lottery picks, 2 guys who got traded early from their beginning teams, Tyrese Haliburton, the Sacramento Kings, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with the Clippers. It's a great matchup. You got Pascal Siakam against Chet Holmgren. That's going to be a fun matchup to watch. In only his second season, Chet Holmgren's a great player. Jalen Williams is an all-star. How's he going to go up against guys in this deep Pacers lineup? I'm excited to see that. We'll do our predictions later on in the episode in Top 5. But there's another thing in the NBA we got to talk about. Tom Thibodeau, or Tibbs, is out as New York Knicks head coach. Now, I'm not going to give away my thoughts right now, but Tom Thibodeau gone as New York Knicks head coach. Stay tuned for my segment on that later in the episode on Tom Thibodeau and the New York Knicks splitting. Now, next thing, in the MLB, we've got Yankees closer Luke Weaver going down with an injury. It's bad for the Yankees. It's bad for baseball. This guy was playing at top level. Now they're going to have Devin Williams pitch. He's already blowing his safe tonight against the Cleveland Guardians. Not going well for the Yankees with losing Luke Weaver right there. Lance McCullers Jr., a guy who was one time a Cy Young candidate, got his first win since 2022 today. A guy who was getting death threats earlier in the season for not pitching well. A guy who's had Tommy John, had to come back from it. It seems like 3 times in his career. Goes up against Paul Skeens and beats him in a pitcher's duel. Great win for Lance McCullers, his first since 2022. The Rockies finally won a series, their first series win in over 20 series. Wow, what a feat for Colorado, finally getting a series win over Miami. But first one in 20 straight series to get a series win. That's a crazy long streak to not win a series, but congrats to Colorado for that. Last thing in the MLB, Jack Caglianone has been called up in his first career MLB start. Almost goes yard in his first MLB at-bat. Now, Jack Caglianone was a top 3 pick from MLB draft in 2024. Doesn't even go through a full year of the minors. Ends up being a top pick. Like I said, out of Florida. Gets called to MLB right away because Royals struggling a little bit right now and almost goes yard in his first at-bat. Cardinals center fielder stole it from, but still had to bring that up. Jack Caglianone, a guy who could throw 99 miles an hour as a lefty in college, won't be pitching in the MLB. He'll be hitting, but almost went yard in his first at-bat. A guy to watch out for in Kansas City. A nice core they've got over there. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, maybe Jack Caglianone adding over to that mantle. Now, to finish things off with the headlines, let's talk about Champions League and how PSG dominated Inter Milan on Saturday. What a great match that was. PSG on fire. They weren't chasing clicks, they were chasing championships, and we're going to talk about that in Take of the Week. That's about for the headlines this week.